Beat It is a song written and performed by American singer Michael Jackson and produced by Quincy Jones. It is the third single from the singer's sixth solo album, Thriller. Eddie Van Halen played the song's distinctive overdriven guitar solo. While Van Halen was prevented by his record label from appearing in the music video, he did appear on stage with Jackson in Dallas during the Jackson Brothers Victory Tour. Following the successful chart performances of the Thriller singles The Girl Is Mine and Billie Jean, Beat It was released on February 3, 1983 as the album's third single. The song was promoted with a short film that featured Jackson bringing two gangs together through the power of music and dance. Beat It received the Grammy Awards for Record of the Year and Best Male Rock Vocal Performance, as well as 2 American Music Awards. It was inducted into the Music Video Producers Hall of Fame. The single, along with its music video, propelled Thriller into becoming the best-selling album of all time. The single was certified platinum in the United States in 1989. Rolling Stone placed Beat It on the 344th spot of its list of the 500 greatest songs of all time. The song was also ranked number 81 on Rolling Stone US 100 Greatest Guitar Songs of All Time. In the decades since its release, Beat It has been covered, parodied, and sampled by numerous artists including Pierce the Veil, Fall Out Boy, Pomplamoose, Justin Bieber, Alvin and the Chipmunks, Fergie, John 5, Weird Al Yankovic and Eminem. The song was also featured in the National Highway Safety Commission's anti-drunk driving campaign. Production and composition, Beat It was composed by Michael Jackson for his Thriller album. Producer Quincy Jones had wanted to include a rock and roll song in the vein of the Knacks' My Sharona, though Jackson reportedly had never previously shown an interest in the genre. Jackson later said of Beat It, "I wanted to write a song, the type of song that I would buy if I were to buy a rock song. That is how I approached it and I wanted the children to really enjoy it, the school children as well as the college students." Upon hearing the first recorded vocals, Jones stated that it was exactly what he was looking for. The song begins with 7 distinct synthesizer notes played on the synclavier digital synthesizer, while Tom Bala is credited with synclavier performance on the song. The intro is taken note for note from a demo LP released the year before, called The Incredible Sounds of Synclavier 2, first published in 1981 by Denny Yeager Creative Services, Incorporated and sold by New England Digital, makers of the synclavier. Eddie Van Halen, lead guitarist of hard rock band Van Halen, was asked to add a guitar solo. When initially contacted by Jones, Van Halen thought he was receiving a prank call. Having established that the call was genuine, Van Halen recorded his guitar solo free of any charge. "I did it as a favor," the musician later said. "I was a complete fool, according to the rest of the band, our manager and everyone else. I was not used. I knew what I was doing. I don't do something unless I want to do it." Van Halen recorded his contribution following Jones and Jackson arriving at the guitarist's house with a skeleton version of the song. Fellow guitarist Steve Lukather recalled, "Initially, we rocked it out as Eddie had played a good solo but Quincy thought it was too tough. So I had to reduce the distorted guitar sound and that is what was released." The song was among the last 4 completed for Thriller. The others were Human Nature, PYT, and The Lady in My Life. On the record, right before Van Halen's guitar solo begins, a noise is heard that sounds like somebody knocking at a door. It is reported that the knock was a person walking into Eddie's recording studio. Another story has claimed that the sound was simply the musician knocking on his own guitar. The sound, however, is that of Jackson knocking on a drum case, as he is credited in the album's liner notes. The engineers were shocked during the recording of Van Halen's solo to discover that the sound of his guitar had caused the monitor speaker in the control room to catch on fire, causing one to exclaim, "This must be really good." The lyrics of Beat It are about defeat and courage, and have been described as a sad commentary on human nature. The line "Don't be a macho man" is said to express Jackson's dislike of violence, whilst also referring to the childhood abuse he faced at the hands of his father Joseph. The song is played in the key of D-sharp minor at a moderately fast tempo of 132 beats per minute. In the song, Jackson's vocal range is B3 to D5. Drums on the song were played by Toto co-founder Jeff Porcaro. A remix of Too Bad is featured on Blood on the Dance Floor, History in the mix containing a sample of Beat It as well as a rap by John Forty, copyright and guitar solo by Billie Jean. Release and reception. Beat It was released on February 14, 1983, following the successful chart performances of The Girl Is Mine and Billie Jean. Frank DiLeo, the vice president of Epic Records, convinced Jackson to release Beat It whilst Billie Jean was heading towards number 1. DiLeo, who would later become the singer's manager, predicted that both singles would remain in the top 10 at the same time. Billie Jean remained atop the Billboard Hot 100 for 7 weeks, before being toppled by Come On Eileen. The Dexys' Midnight Runners song stayed at number 1 for a single week, before Jackson reclaimed the position with Beat It. Billie Jean and Beat It occupied top 5 positions at the same time, a feat matched by very few artists. The single remained at the top of the Hot 100 for a total of 3 weeks. The song also charted at number 1 on the US R&B Singles Chart and number 14 on the Billboard Top Tracks chart in the US. Billboard ranked it at the number 5 song for 1983. Beat It also claimed the top spot in Spain and the Netherlands, reached number 3 in the UK and the top 20 in Austria, Norway, Italy, Sweden and Switzerland. In a Rolling Stone review, Christopher Connelly describes Beat It as the best song on Thriller, adding that it ain't no disco AOR track. He notes of the nifty dance song, Jackson's voice soars all over the melody, Eddie Van Halen checks in with a blistering guitar solo, who could build a convention center on the backbeat. AllMusic's Stephen Thomas Levine states that the song is both tough and scared. Robert Christgau claimed that the song, in which Eddie Van Halen wins his night in the service of Antimacho, is the triumph in the Thriller. Slant magazine observed that the song was an uncharacteristic dalliance with the rock idiom. The track also won praise from Jackson biographer J. Randy Taraborelli, who stated that the song was rambunctious. Beat It has been recognized with several awards. At the 1984 Grammy Awards, the song earned Jackson 2 of a record 8 awards, Record of the Year and Best Male Rock Vocal Performance. The track won the Billboard Music Award for Favorite Dance Disco 12 Inches LP in 1983. The single was certified gold by the Recording Industry Association of America, a few months after its release, for shipments of at least 1 million units. In 1989, the standard format single was recertified platinum by the RIAA, based on the revised sales level of 1 million units for platinum singles. The total number of digital sales in the U.S., as of September 2010, stands at 1,649,000. Music video. The music video for Beat It helped establish Jackson as an international pop icon. The video was Jackson's first treatment of black youth and the streets. Both Beat It and Thriller are notable for their mass choreography of synchronized dancers, a Jackson trademark. The video, which cost Jackson $150,000 to create after CBS refused to finance it, was filmed on Los Angeles Skid Row mainly on locations on East 5th Street around March 9, 1983. To add authenticity to the production but also to foster peace between them, Jackson had the idea to cast members of rival Los Angeles street gangs Crips and Bloods. In addition to around 80 genuine gang members, the video, which is noted for opening up many job opportunities for dancers in the U.S., also featured 18 professional dancers and 4 breakdancers. Besides Jackson, Peters and Vincent Paterson, the cast included Michael DeLorenzo, Stoney Jackson, Trasser Guns, Tony Fields, Peter Tram, Rick Stone and Cheryl Song. The video was written and directed by Bob Giraldi, produced by Anthony Payne and Mary M. Ensign through production company Gasp. The second video released for the Thriller album, it was choreographed by Michael Peters, who also performed, alongside Vincent Paterson, as one of the 2 lead dancers. Despite some sources claiming otherwise, Jackson was involved in creating some parts of the choreography. Jackson asked Giraldi, at the time already an established commercial director but who had never directed a music video, to come up with a concept for the Beat It video because he really liked a commercial Giraldi had directed for WLS-TV in Chicago about a married couple of two elderly blind people who, instead of running from a rundown neighborhood all the other white people had fled from, chose to stay and throw a block party for all the young children in the area. Contrary to popular belief, the concept of the video was not based on the Broadway musical West Side Story. In reality, Giraldi drew inspiration from his growing up in Paterson, New Jersey. The video had its world premiere on MTV during prime time on March 31, 1983, though it should be noted that neither Beat It nor Billie Jean was, as is often claimed, the first music video by an African-American artist to be played on MTV. Soon after its premiere, the video was also running on other video programs including Bet's Video Soul, Superstation WTBS's Night Tracks, and NBC's Friday Night Videos. In fact, Beat It was the first video shown on the latter's first-ever telecast on July 29, 1983. The video opens with the news of a fight circulating at a diner. This scene repeats itself at a pool hall, where gang members arrive via foot, forklift, and out of sewers, while the video's titular song begins to play. The camera cuts to a scene of Jackson lying on a bed, revealing he's the one singing, contemplating the senseless violence. The singer notices rival gangs and leaves. Michael Jackson dons a red leather J. Parks brand jacket, and dances his way towards the fight through the diner and pool hall. A knife fight is taking place between the two gang leaders in a warehouse. They dance battle for an interlude of music until MJ arrives. The singer breaks up the fight and launches into a dance routine. The video ends with the gang members joining him in the dance, agreeing that violence is not the solution to their problems. The video received recognition through numerous awards. The American Music Awards named the short film their favorite pop rock video and their favorite soul video. The Black Gold Awards honored Jackson with the Best Video Performance Award. The Billboard Video Awards recognized the video with 7 awards. Best Overall Video Clip, Best Performance by a Male Artist, Best Use of Video to Enhance a Song, Best Use of Video to Enhance an Artist's Image, Best Choreography, Best Overall Video and Best Dance Disco 12 inches. The short film was ranked by Rolling Stone as the #1 video, in both their critics' and readers' poll. The video was later inducted into the Music Video Producers Hall of Fame. The music video of the song appears on the video albums, Video Greatest Hits: A Euro History, History on Film, Volume 2, Number Ones, on the bonus DVD of Thriller 25 and Michael Jackson's Vision. Live performances. On July 14, 1984, Jackson performed Beat It live with his brothers during the Jackson's Victory Tour. The brothers were joined on stage by Eddie Van Halen, who played the guitar in his solo spot. The song became a signature song of Jackson. The singer performed it on all of his world tours, Bad, Dangerous and History. The October 1, 1992 Dangerous Tour performance of Beat It was included on the DVD of the singer's Michael Jackson, The Ultimate Collection box set. The DVD was later repackaged as Live in Bucharest, The Dangerous Tour. Jackson also performed the song on the Michael Jackson 30th Anniversary Special, a concert celebrating the musician's 30th year as a solo performer. The performance featured Slash as the song's guest guitarist. A highlight of Jackson's solo concert tour performances of the song is that he would begin the song on a cherry picker after performing Thriller. Another live version of the song is available on the DVD Live at Wembley July 16, 1988. The song would have also been performed as part of the This Is It concerts which were cancelled due to Jackson's death. Legacy. Michael Jackson's Beat It has been cited as one of the most successful, recognized, awarded and celebrated songs in the history of pop music. Both the song and video had a large impact on pop culture. The song is said to be a pioneer in black rock music, and is considered one of the cornerstones of the Thriller album. Eddie Van Halen has been praised for adding the greatest guitar solo, aiding Beat It into becoming one of the biggest-selling singles of all time. Shortly after its release, Beat It was included in the National Highway Safety Commission's anti-drunk driving campaign, Drinking and Driving Can Kill a Friendship. The song was also included on the accompanying album. Jackson collected an award from President Ronald Reagan at the White House, in recognition for his support of the campaign. Reagan stated that Jackson was proof of what a person can accomplish through a lifestyle free of alcohol or drug abuse. People young and old respect that. And if Americans follow his example, then we can face up to the problem of drinking and driving, and we can, in Michael's words, beat it. Frequently listed in greatest song polling lists, Beat It was ranked as the world's fourth favorite song in a 2005 poll conducted by Sony Ericsson. Over 700,000 people in 60 different countries cast their votes. Voters from the UK placed Billie Jean at number 1, ahead of Thriller, with a further 5 of the top 10 being solo recordings by Jackson. In 2004, Rolling Stone magazine placed Beat It in the 337th spot on its list of the 500 greatest songs of all time. The song was featured in the films Back to the Future Part 2, Zoolander and Undercover Brother. When re-released, as part of the Visionary campaign in 2006, Beat It charted at number 15 in the UK. The song has been used in TV commercials for companies like Budweiser, eBay, Burger King, Delta Airlines, Game Boy, Coldwell Banker and the NFL. On the City Guys episode of Season 3's Face the Music, Jamal says to Slick Billy West, played by Sherman Hemsley, "Well gone Michael Jackson and Beat It," which was in the final scene. The song also appeared in the 2008 music game, Guitar Hero World Tour, as the last song in the vocal career. Notably, in this game, the vocalist will perform the same dance routine performed by Jackson on the video and live performances when singing the final verse. The song is featured on the dancing game Michael Jackson, The Experience. Track listing: 12 inches Marksy, Beat It Euro 418, Burn This Disco Out Euro 338, The Jacksons Euro Don't Stop Till You Get Enough Euro 422, 12 single, Beat It Euro 418, Working Day and Night Euro 514, 12 Mexican promo of Billie Jean Euro 622, Largate Euro 541, 7 single, Beat It Euro 418, Get on the Floor Euro 444, Visionary single, CD, Beat It, DVD, Beat It. Official versions, album version Euro 418, extended version Euro 541, Moby submix Euro 611, Live from Live at Wembley July 16, 1988 Euro 645, 2008 version with Fergie Euro 411, Beat It / State of Shock Euro 309. Personnel, performance, Michael Jackson Euro vocals, drum case beater, Paul Jackson, Jr Euro guitar, Steve Lukather Euro guitar, bass guitar, Eddie Van Halen Euro guitar solo, Steve Porcaro Euro synthesizer, synthesizer programming, Greg Gaines Euro Rhodes, synthesizer, Bill Wolfer Euro keyboards, Tom Barlow Euro synclavier, Jeff Porcaro Euro drums, production, Michael Jackson Euro writing, composition, co-production, rhythm and vocal arrangement, Quincy Jones Euro production, rhythm arrangement, Greg Smith Euro synergy. Charts and certifications. Weekly charts equals. Beat It 2008, for Thriller 25, the Black Eyed Peas singer will.i.am remixed Beat It. The song, titled Beat It 2008, featured additional vocals by fellow Black Eyed Peas member Fergie. Upon its release in 2008, the song reached number 26 in Switzerland, the top 50 in Sweden and number 65 in Austria. This was the second remixed version of Beat It to get an official release, following Moby's submix which was released on the Jam, and Who Is It singles in 1992, as well as the They Don't Care About Us single in 1996. Reception Beat It 2008 received generally unfavorable reviews from music critics. Rob Sheffield of Rolling Stone claimed that the song was a contender for the year's most pointless musical moment. AllMusic criticized Fergie for parroting the lyrics of Beat It back to a recorded Jackson. Blenders Kellerfersson also noted that the Black Eyed Peas singer traded lines with Jackson. Why? She queried. Todd Gilchrist was thankful that the remix retained Eddie Van Halen's incendiary guitar solo, but added that the song holds the dubious honor of making Jackson seem masculine for once, and only in the context of Fergie's Tough by way of Kid's incorporated interpretation of the tune. Tom Ewing of Pitchfork Media observed that Fergie's nervous reverence is a waste of time. Charts equals remix credits written and composed by Michael Jackson, remix drums, will.i.am, remix keyboards and synths, will.i.am, remix engineered by will.i.am and Karen, remix produced and mixed by Michael Jackson and will.i.am, remix recorded in November 2007. Fall Out Boy version, American rock band Fall Out Boy covered Beat It. The studio version was digitally released on March 25, 2008 by Island Records as the only single from the band's first live album, Live in Phoenix. The song features a guitar solo by John Mayer, which was performed by Eddie Van Halen in the original song. In the United States, the song peaked at number 19 on the Billboard Hot 100 and reached number 21 on the defunct Billboard Pop 100 chart, also charting internationally. The band has since regularly incorporated it in their setlist at their shows. Background, recording and release. In early 2008 it was announced that Fall Out Boy were to cover Beat It for their Live in Phoenix album. The band had previously performed the song at venues such as Coors Amphitheatre and festivals such as the Carling Weekend in Leeds. Bassist Pete Wentz, who has claimed to have an obsession with Jackson, stated that prior to recording the song, he would only watch Moonwalker. It was also announced that John Mayer was to add the guitar solo previously played by Eddie Van Halen. The band's lead singer-guitarist Patrick Stump stated that the band had not planned to cover the song. Basically, I just started playing the riff in sound check one day, and then we all started playing it, and then we started playing it live, and then we figured we'd record it and put it out with our live DVD. Bassist Pete Wentz added that the band had not originally intended for the song to be released as a single either. Beat It seemed like a song that would be cool and that we could do our own take on, he said. Having spent time deciding on a guitarist for the song, Wentz eventually called John Mayer to add the guitar solo. We were trying to think about who is a contemporary guitar guy who's going to go down as a legend, Wentz later noted. Upon its digital release as a single in April 2008, Fall Out Boy's cover of Beat It became a mainstay on iTunes' Top 10 chart. The song peaked at number 8 in Canada, becoming another top 10 hit in the region. It also charted at number 13 in Australia, number 14 in New Zealand, number 75 in Austria and number 98 in the Netherlands. Music video. The music video for Fall Out Boy's Beat It was directed by Shane Drake and was made in homage to Jackson. I think when you're doing a Michael Jackson cover, there's this expectation that you're going to do one of his videos verbatim, Stump said. What we decided to do was kind of inspired by Michael Jackson and the mythology of him. There are specific images that are reference points for us, but at any given point, it's not any of his videos. It's kind of all of his videos, all at once, but on a Fall Out Boy budget, so it's not quite as fancy. The costumes for the video were similar to the originals. My costume is this take on one of the guys from Michael Jackson's original Beat It video, like, the guy who plays the rival dancer, Wentz said during the filming of the video. The music video featured numerous cameos, including a karate class dance session being taught by Tony Hale, Donald Faison and Joel David Moore dressed up like Michael Jackson. The short film later received a MTV Video Music Award nomination for Best Rock Video. Charts. Other cover versions. In 1984, parodist Weird Al Yankovic released his parody song Eat It. Yankovic recorded the song with Jackson's permission. The song's music video mocked the Beat It short film scene for scene, with Yankovic mimicking Jackson's dance moves in a clumsy fashion. Jackson received royalties from Yankovic due to the strong similarities. References. Bibliography. Austin, Jake. TV A Go Go. Chicago Review Press. ISBN 1-55652-572-9. Cadman, Chris. Halstead, Craig. Michael Jackson, For the Record. Authors Online. ISBN 978-0-7552-3. 0267-6. Campbell, Lisa. Michael Jackson, The King of Pop. Brandon. ISBN 0-8283-1957-X. Campbell, Lisa. Michael Jackson, The King of Pop's Darkest Hour. Brandon. ISBN 0-8283-2003-9. Dean, Maury. Rock 'n' Roll Gold Rush. Algora Publishing. ISBN 0-87586-207-1. Denisov, R. Serge. Inside MTV. Transaction Publishers. ISBN 978-0-88738-864-4. George, Nelson. Michael Jackson, The Ultimate Collection Booklet. Sony BMG. Halstead, Craig. Cadman, Chris. Jackson's Number Ones. Authors Online. ISBN 978-0-7552-0098-6. Halstead, Craig. Cadman, Chris. Michael Jackson, The Solo Years. Authors Online. ISBN 978-0-7552-0091-7. Taraborelli, J. Randy. The Magic and the Madness. Terra Alta, West Virginia, headline. ISBN 0-330-42005-4. Thriller 25, The Book. ML Publishing Group. 2008. ISBN 978-0-9768891-9-9. Whiteley, Sheila. Too Much Too Young. Routledge. ISBN 0-415-31029-6. External links: Michael Jackson, Beat It on YouTube, full lyrics of this song at Metro Lyrics.